Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the privacy news. These are recorded live Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to catch it live or just catch these short clips here. Today we are brought to us by the affiliate link for private internet access. If you do need a VPN, consider using my link. Pick that up. That actually helps support the channel. It's a great way to get you something you might need and get me some financial backing for the channel so I can keep doing this. So with private internet access, you can connect up to 5 devices simultaneously. For $83, you can get 2 years of service. Now, these are a United States company, but they have been demonstrated in court to not have logs. So there's actually some legal precedent for them protecting your privacy and security. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the privacy news. And first, remember guys that we start with good news and then move down? Facebook is the first news article we're doing today. Is that not frightening or what? So Facebook, of course, we'll be talking about this more tomorrow, but like a large chunk of the internet is now powered by Cloudflare, which I think is a problem when a large chunk of anything is dominated by one individual company. Well, Cloudflare had a serious problem and went down earlier this week. It caused all sorts of issues. And one of the things that happened in Facebook, it caused a major degradation of services, and images didn't load, although the AI tags that their system adds to your photos without you uploading tags were visible. So it gave us a little bit of insight as to what Facebook is doing with our images on the back end. So this image may contain night, sky, outdoor, may contain flower, trees, sky, outdoor, nature, people standing. And you say, oh, okay, so what? Really, it's an AI. It's kind of describing what it's seeing. Okay, that's okay. I can search images for these types of things, whatever, until it kind of gets down a little bit more, and we kind of figure out that this profile picture is a photo, may contain one person with a beard. Like, I don't know, maybe. But it actually turns out that I actually can identify people too. Oh, this photo may contain Russell Brandon. And understand this, even if you don't necessarily have a Facebook account, if enough people tagged you and you don't have one, it can still pick up who you are and auto-tag it. So they started doing this a number of years back. You upload a photo and it's like, hey, you can automatically tag people. Well, how does it know this? Because it's running all of the photos you upload to a facial recognition platform. And that's kind of a problematic thing. So the big outage of Cloudflare this week showed us that. And that is quite exciting. So this one may contain 4 people standing in shoes, 11 people standing, may contain 1 or more people, a child, close up and indoor. I don't want to know what's in that photo, yo. All right, 3 people, people smiling, people standing inside, may contain 3 people smiling, people standing. All right, so that's kind of it. So this one here, this guy here, he takes it in front of the picture of the Last Supper, 6 people indoor. That's fun. But anyway, it is broken a little bit. It doesn't know who Jesus is yet. So, whew. For all you people that always argue, we don't really know what Jesus looks like, Facebook still does not know what Jesus looks like. Praise God. All right. With all that being said, this is just getting creepy. So, of course, I talk about Alexa all the time, and we're talking about Amazon Alexa, so I have to do 2 things first. Number 1, I do use Amazon. If you use Amazon, I do have an affiliate link up there. That's a good way to help out the channel as well. But the other thing I always have to do every single time Amazon Alexa comes across here, I gotta say it, guys. Alexa, order unicorn meat, confirm. All right, so now that we have had Alexa order unicorn meat for a lot of people, it does turn out that Alexa does keep your data with no expiration date and shares it too. Now, you can, in theory, get in here, according to Amazon. You can get in there and manually delete it, but Amazon confirmed there is no expiration. The data that you give to your Alexa, it's perpetually with Alexa. They don't auto-delete it. They don't get rid of it after a period of time. They keep all the voice clips. They keep all this. And this raises a few issues. Number 1 is it raises those issues where there's lawsuits going on right now regarding Amazon Alexa saying, hey, my kid went to play at your house and I never gave you parental consent for Amazon to store my minor child's data, and that is a violation of COPPA. So there actually are rules or are court cases about that going through the courts right now. All right. And of course it raises some other, just a lot of other issues. Like when I see Amazon's like Echoes and Google things and all these smart speakers at stores, I avoid those aisles. I just don't want to go there. This is just kind of crazy. So of course this came because there were some questions about what Amazon Alexa keeps and all this. So while I use Amazon, I would never let one of these things into my house. So that's my thoughts. I would highly recommend not buying an Amazon Alexa with my affiliate link at the top. All right. But buy other things. All right. This is another one. We kind of talked about this recently as well, where I talked about these apps that keep track of your various functions. In this case, the female cycles, if you'll know what I'm talking about. With the female cycles coming in, the apps are collecting all this data. And guys, I've been telling you this. Apps are collecting data on what you do. Well, this clue just turns around. They're not even being shy about it. These companies aren't being shy about it at all anymore. They're just like, oh yeah, we track your female cycle data and we just give this to a bunch of scientists. In fact, they even say when you track in Clue, you contribute to unprecedented data set that is forwarding the understanding of female health and new frontiers of health research. We work with top research institutions and clinicians to explore topics with real world impact. So if you're using an app like this, did you actually know that you are taking all of that data and sending it to a company? And sure, they say, oh, we de-anonymize it. Yeah, guys, you've all seen that this data can be de-anonymized quickly. It's not anonymized data. They give it to them. Oh, we're just going to scrub this basic stuff off. It's actually pretty easy to go back, especially with the scope of how much data your device collects anyway. And so you got to be careful with this crap. If you want to keep track of cycles, use a paper and a pencil and a notepad, That's kind of a thought on that. So really. I also told you guys about TikTok. I feel like a prophet today. I've been warning you guys about TikTok. Of course, TikTok is now under investigation over child data use. Of course, TikTok, as I've warned you guys about before, this is the fastest growing social media platform. It is very highly popular among kids. It is put together by a Chinese AI data harvesting and analytics company. In other words, they want to collect as much data as possible, feed it into AIs, and then all of you people using TikTok are going to help Skynet come to life. It's not going to be pretty, yo. It's not going to be pretty. All right, so TikTok is now under investigation over child data use, and they're going, so what? We're a Chinese company. Momentum's going, yo. So guys, pick up your kids' phones, see if they got TikTok, delete it, and tell them if I see TikTok on this thing again, you're done with it. You should actually not even have your kids having smartphones. Anyway, give them a flip phone if they have to have a phone at all. Okay, we survived just fine without a cell phone in our pocket, We disappeared into the woods half the time. I mean, hey, sure, we could have been bitten by a snake and died, and no one would find us for 5 or 6 more days. But anyway, whatever. But anyway, TikTok is now being investigated by United States and some European countries as well regarding the data they're collecting. And again, this data is being harvested and fed into a Chinese data analytics research company. Not cool, people. Not cool at all. And now what you've all been waiting for, the Superscary email. So this is actually an email service called, is it Superman or Superhuman? Superhuman. So the email service was called Superhuman, and it caused a little bit of a buzz this week because it turned out that the Superhuman email service, it's kind of like one of these email services, it would send a tracking pixel with your email. You had no way of blocking it because apparently you can only use their system with their app. So you had no way of blocking it. The tracking pixel will send back the device used to open the email. It sends back the location of that particular device. It sends back when exactly it was opened, how many times it was opened, a lot of stuff that sure you guys have had an email open up and say, hey, the sender would like a receipt notification. And you can push yes or you can push cancel. All right. This didn't give you the option. So it caused a little bit of a buzz because what they were doing is they were putting a lot of background information, and of course, kind of like Proton Mail, I think you can buy access to other mail clients, but if you're just using the web-based application or the app application, they had this idea, and you couldn't use this with other systems that I know of. And so if I was using a third party, you'd send me stuff, I can set my email client to not accept HTML messages, and I would be protected about this. But if you're sending this to a lot of your other services, by default loads HTML, it's loading all the information, and it's porting all of that information back to the original sender, and doesn't give anybody the options to turn it off. That's kind of what was going on. Now, this has to do with tracking pixels. This is actually why Facebook, you should block Facebook on your network unless you have a specific need to use it. A lot of sites use a Facebook tracking pixel. This is nothing new. Tracking pixels have been one of the best ways of tracking website loads for a long time, before analytics and things. What you do is you put a 1x1 GIF image in there, because when the web page loads, you put it on web pages, you can do emails, you put it on the web page. When the web page loads, okay, then it goes out and it grabs the image. And then as it grabs the image, then you see the server log will take the IP address and anything else that it has the data to go with. Well, Facebook has one of these data tracking pixels. It's one of the ways that Facebook tracks people across the internet. A lot of sites have this. So if you block Facebook's domain, you prevent the Facebook tracking pixels from tracking you. So this is nothing new, but this is really one of the first times we see it. We see it in the middle of what's going on, because nobody knew this was going on. It really wasn't openly disclosed. And if somebody just sends you an email from this email service, you don't know that it's doing all that stuff. So if your email client is set to automatically accept HTML, a lot of data about you and your system is being sent back, not only to that person, but to the company as well. And that raised a huge privacy thing. And so the CEO of the company comes back and responds to this. And so he says, what are the read statuses? They're the power user feature that shows you when people open your emails. Some products also show an approximate sense of location, ranging from city, country, based on IP address used to read the email. Read statuses work by something called a tracking pixel. The email tool includes a tiny image in sent messages. When the recipients open these messages, the email client will download the image in the same way a web browser does. The image server logs these requests, and it will often use an IP address to guess the approximate location. Now, you have to remember, the IP address is considered personally identifiable information by GDPR. So in other words, if this company did not respond to this, they were going to be probably out of business tomorrow. All right. And so these email servers called Superhuman, of course, does it show read statuses? Yes, it shows read statuses when people read your emails. In designing an email client for professionals and power users, we focused on speed, automation, and insights such as read statuses. Sometimes the product shows approximate data location as the state or the country in which the email was read. And by the way, guys, an IP address gets you a whole lot closer to the state or the country. He is lying out of his teeth because the IP address can tell you your city, or at least a city close to your city. Okay, we deliberately do not show city level data. You can't prevent it. You can't prevent it. They can prevent it from showing, but they have that data. They do. Our users can turn read statuses off to disable the read statuses. When this is done, it will not include tracking pixels and sent emails. This was a new thing. They added this ability to turn it off because of this thing. The last few days, we've seen 4 main criticisms. Location data can be used in nefarious ways. You think? Read statuses are on by default. Recipients of emails cannot opt out, and Superhuman users cannot disable remote image loading. All right, so on all of these, we hear you loud and clear. Do you hear me loud and clear? Stop. Stop. Stop all this data collection. We don't need it. We don't want it. Just stop. Hear me loud and clear. All right, so we've stopped logging location information for new email effective immediately. We are releasing a new app versions today that no longer show location information. We are deleting all historical location data from our apps. We are keeping the read status feature, but turning it off by default. Users who want to keep it will have to explicitly turn it off. We are prioritizing building an option to disable more remote image loading. All right, that's all good. I would like to see some other consequence of this, because this is just blatant putting in of bad data, bad info. And so they go into a little bit more detail here. We're not going to go into this because you can follow the link in the description down below. Find the link to this article here and go back, read through it yourself. So that is the privacy news. Email tracking stuff. Who would have thunk it would have gotten to this level? But I guess all of us. Let me know what you guys think about this story, anything we've covered in the comments down below.